Comparison time. Guys, we've got the M2 from the Dream Bag, the second-hand set that I'm building this year for £500 against the brand new SIM Max. It's equivalent, the evolution of the M2. The question is it any different? Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's Simon down here, American Golf at Oxford Golf Centre. Test time. I did this last year, tested the M2 against the M6, and today we're going to be testing the M2 against the SIM Max. The challenge at the moment, I'm building a £500 Dream Bag, which I'm looking for some irons at the moment, and that series is going to continue very shortly. However, I don't want to miss my opportunity to test my bargain £80 M2 2016 driver in mint condition against the brand new 399 SIM Max driver. Difference is I actually quite like the look and feel of the SIM Max. Obviously I tested the SIM yesterday against the Cobra Speed Zone, hence why I'm already down here at Oxford Golf Centre and I'm already warmed up. So 5 shots in a row with both drivers. Let's look at the numbers, let's see if there's any difference. They're both at the same loft. I'm going to put the new Venter shaft in the old 2016 M2 to make it as fair as possible, and then 5 decent drives for me. Shouldn't be too hard. Let's get into it. Up first, the £80 M2 2016 head with the Venter shaft, which you would get with a Taylormade SIM driver this year. To make this test as fair as possible, like and subscribe. And I say fair as possible mainly because the biggest influence in this whole test is me. I could swing the club faster, I could swing the club slower if I like the look of a driver, or I'm more confident with the driver, i.e. I'm finding the middle more, I tend to ramp it up more, therefore I'm going to swing it faster. There's a lot of variables, and to be honest, a great test, which I'd love to do, is club fit someone 7 days in a row. I'll club fit them in the morning, club fit them in the afternoon, club fit them when they feel tired, when they feel energetic, and I bet you'd get fit for 7 different golf clubs. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and my biggest advice is if you're going for a club fit, go and get fit for some clubs at the same time that you'd normally play around a golf. So if you play early in the morning, get a club fit early in the morning. If you're playing in the afternoon, get a club fit in the afternoon. But we are the biggest variable, and you'll see my ball speed jump up, you'll see my club head speed jump up, and the spin rate is obviously the biggest factor when it comes down to distance. It's one of the biggest things I've learned this year through long drive, and it will equate to more distance. Now, spoiler alert, you'll watch me hit the sim in a minute. Ball speed goes up slightly, club head speed goes up slightly, which is interesting. We're talking negligible, we're talking maybe 1 mile an hour, 2 mile an hour average when we look at the numbers. Yeah, it doesn't go further, it actually goes less, because carry was exactly the same. They both landed similar distances. However, the roll was non-existent with the sim because it launched too high and spun too high, which is the idea between this Max head. It's got the weight at the back of the driver. Obviously the CG is probably further back than the 2016 M2 head. Therefore it launches, goes up in the air, and then comes down like a lead balloon for me. However, if you're slower swinging out of the club head, you need more help getting the ball in the air, and then you maybe don't get enough spin. Maybe you spin it way too low. The SIM Max head is going to help just the same as the Ping G400 Max would help, and I imagine the Maverick Jet Max head, etc., would help get that ball up in the air. But for me, obviously, having that weight further back is not going to help. And obviously I knew this. Neither of these drivers are club fitted for me. Neither of these are suited to me. And honestly, with a 170, 180 ball speed on good numbers, I'm expecting 340, 350 yard drives. That's just the maths. But obviously with the head design of these 2 drivers, I'm not going to get the most out of it, but that's not the point, obviously, of this video. There are slight improvements. I do like the Taylormade SIM range this year, mainly because of the look. The one downside I would say with all new drivers now, especially from 2018 onwards, the Epic Flash, the Epic, NEM5, everything sits massively open now, which for a tour player I think is good, or let's say a good ball speed, good ball speeder, a good swinger of the golf club, or high club SB player, or low handicapper. That might be great to hit a drawback in the middle, but for your average golfer, and for me, because I don't like the look of an open club when it sits on the ground, I don't think it necessarily suits. And it goes down the argument that all these drivers are fitted for tour players with the CG location, not necessarily for the average golfer. But I'm impressed with the Max head. I think it's the right decision in terms of where Taylormade are going. Obviously, it's cheaper and it has come down in price, even at $399, which is still quite a lot of money. Let's have a look at the numbers, because you'll see the ball speed spike up with the SIM. So SIM numbers on the top there. Taylormade M2 is obviously on the bottom. Average total distance with the SIM was 299, 308 with the M2. Club speed was slower with the M2 at 119. Ball speed on average was slower at 174. And obviously the SIM was slightly up, 2 miles an hour on both. But average spin rate, 3,000 with the SIM. Average spin rate with the M2 was 2.5. Obviously you saw some good 2,000s, which is impressive really, because this driver shouldn't be suited to me. And the M2 with a stiff shaft kind of is launching and spinning at the right amount for me to get the most out of it. When it comes to someone that swings it as fast as me, obviously distance isn't the issue. It's finding a fairway, making sure that it's reliable. And to be honest, me swinging these drivers would mean nothing to you guys. If you are looking for a driver that's going to get the ball up in the air, spin more, then these driver heads would be a very good choice to go down. Obviously, it's not something that I'd consider. I need something a bit lower spinning. But as you can see from the numbers, again, not much. Same as last year. Not much between them. Obviously, it's all down to personal preference. I think if you're going to take anything away from this video, is this: neither of the drivers are fitted for me. Both too flexible, both too high lofted. Therefore, I didn't get as much as I should have from both drivers. Regardless if you're spending £80 or if you're spending £400, the main thing is just getting a driver that is suited to you. Now, obviously, that's easier to do with an expensive driver because you can go for a club fit. However, if you just so happen to stumble across an old driver, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, that produces the right launch and the right spin, you're not going to be far off the maximum distance you can get for your swing. Overall, I like the look of the SIM drivers. I know a few of you don't, or you think it's a copycat of the Speed Zone, but I think just overall it's one of the best looking drivers Taylormade have brought out for a long time. And again, sound and feel just as good. Anyway, guys, thank you ever so much for watching. If you like this video, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new. Catch you guys later.